Alright, I'm going to show you how to make this cute crescent moon cat wreath. First, you're going to start with a Dollar Tree wreath. This is an 18-inch wreath form for $1.25 at Dollar Tree. And you're just going to cut two of the sections out, and you're going to cut right outside of that support, the cross support, on both of those sections. So what you're going to have left looks like this, and then I did not show how to cut the supports, but you're going to go in for those cross supports and cut those off, or cut them down so they don't like stab across, so that you can get more of the pointy crescent moon thing. There's a good look at how I cut it. And then you're just going to take floral wire, which is also found at Dollar Tree, and wrap it around. I did afterwards put some hot glue in there for good measure to hope that it all holds, but it seems to be holding just fine without it too. So that's kind of what it looks like when you're all done. And here I'm just trimming off the pokey parts so that it doesn't poke through. And then I just took this big chunky yarn from Walmart. It's like $7 or $8 for a skein, and I think I got 3 or 4 wreaths out of it. And you're just going to wrap it. You see there's lights on here. I did try it with lights, but they just don't show through the black fur. So I'll probably try it again with like white yarn, and it might be better, but it was just a waste here. And I didn't realize that till after I had it covered, so I just left it there. And here I'm showing you in super speed how I wrapped it. This is probably the longest part of the whole thing. It's just wrapping it tight, and you get it all wrapped. I used chipboard, which this is stuff I had to order, but you could use like a cereal box for this. I cut it on the Cricut, and I used the chipboard setting. You only need like 3 passes with a knife blade to cut the stuff, so make sure you watch it while you're cutting it, because otherwise you're going to cut through your mat. Here you see I have 2 layers because one layer just wasn't, it was too flimsy. So I'm taking 2 layers. I cut 2 of the same cat out of chipboard, and I'm just hot gluing them together and making sure they line up really good, and pushing that hot glue right out to the edge so that there's no gap where the layers are. And I just go all the way around. I did poke holes, or I cut holes with the Cricut in the bottom, and you'll see what that's for in a little bit when I attach it to the wreath. And just make sure it's glued really good together along all of the edges so it doesn't separate at all. And make sure the holes don't have glue oozing through them. And there's your cat, and give it a good paint job. This is the fastest paint job ever. And then while you're letting that dry, you can work on the floral. And this is all from Dollar Tree. These were the ugliest flowers with eyeballs in them, but I took the eyeballs off, and these little sprigs of glitter stuff. And what I do with the Dollar Tree florals is I take them apart. There's like 3 or 4 layers per flower, and I usually combine 2 or 3 flowers onto one little stem to make it look fuller and not so cheap. So here you'll see I'm going to take apart this black one, and I keep that bottom part and that center part, and then just pick apart the layers and kind of sort them and then put them back together. This is the second one I'm taking apart. I'm going to keep this central part intact, and then I'm just going to put the layers back together. I don't know what I was doing there with my hand. Put the layers back together, smallest to largest, and kind of rotate them so they're, not all going the same direction. And put the flower back together. So here we go. We're moving up a size. And for some of these, after my first one, I was doing the black and the purple layers together, and those turned out really pretty too. So feel free to, use your imagination with this. I do a lot with the Dollar Tree floral just by, combining it together. And then these sprigs were really long, so I'm just cutting them in half. I'm cutting off each sprig and cutting it in half. And then here I'm just showing you the cat, giving you an idea of like how it's pretty sturdy but still not a solid like a piece of wood or anything. But that's what the cat turned out like. It's a lot of cat footage. And then here I am attaching the cat to the wreath. So I'm attaching it to the back. The feet and the tail are going to be on the back side. I'm deciding where the ornament's going to fall. Kind of making sure the cat is just out of reach of that ornament. And then I'm going to flip it over and get the cat. And I'm going to use this purple pipe cleaner just because I have it. And this black stuff is the black yarn is so fluffy that it doesn't matter what color you're using. It's going to disappear in the black. Also, I'm going to put flowers over it so you're not going to see it. But if you have a black pipe cleaner or whatever to match your yarn, then that would work best. But it really does hide pretty well in the yarn when you wrap it around. So really you're just going to wrap it like you're a kindergartner and just wrap it, and it doesn't have to be pretty because it's on the back and it's going to be hidden. And then I wrapped the foot too, that's not here. And then here's me placing the sprigs. I didn't get a lot of footage. I don't know what happened to the footage of me placing all the floral stuff. But really the key is you place it before you put the hot glue, do a cold placement, and then you want to hot glue it, you know, and place the flowers on. That was a horrible explanation, sorry. So here we are placing the ornament. I tried to paint that little top part black. It didn't turn out great. And I just tie it to the top with some ribbon. And again, that knot will disappear in the yarn. But I also did put a dot of hot glue up there just to make sure it doesn't slip. And then I kind of bunched the yarn around it, and then I cut the ends off. And there you go. I love this, and I'm going to make a Christmas one soon, so stay tuned for more.